Hey, everybody. That's all I'm saying. Sean and Kelly here from Price and Price Group at Samson Properties.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about the varying degrees of home valuation sites and who to trust.
Okay. So we're going to talk about several different sites that give automated home valuations. And we're going to show you the variances, and we're going to explain to you how and why that happens. But I have an analogy.
Give it to me.
Okay.
An analogy?
Yes.
This could go very well,
or
which would
very
be shocking.
bad.
It's going to go bad.
So mean.
If it goes well, I'm going to get you a cupcake.
Cupcake. You have to wait for about 13 more days.
Oh, you're on your fast?
Yes. But
I'll bake a cake.
Okay. Okay. A lot of realtors will say that these automated home valuation websites, and examples are Redfin or Zestimate, that they're useless. And they are to an extent, but I kind of liken it to this. Let's say that you are on vacation and you're at a VRBO. And at that VRBO, there is a scale, a weight scale. So you go and you get on that weight scale. You haven't weighed yourself in forever. You get on this scale and it says you weigh, I'm going to go with, let's say 220 pounds. Let's have a good day. So I weigh 220 pounds on this scale. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I haven't calibrated. I haven't weighed myself anywhere else to have a comparison, but I weigh 220 pounds.
Okay.
Well, then the next day I come back after being in vacation mode and I weigh 222 pounds. And I'm like, oh, this is bad.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So I decide to fast and I go back. So anyway, I have this scale, and whatever the actual reality of my weight is, the scale at least gives me a starting point, and I can see if I'm going up or down from that starting point. Then at the end of vacation, let's say I weigh 227, because I can do that on vacation.
The vacation scale.
So let's say I go home and I weigh 227. Well, when I get home and I get to a medical scale or a scale that I know, I may weigh 224 pounds or something like that. But the actual weight may be that 224, but at least I knew if I was going up or down. That's what these are really good for. You can watch them. They're quick. They're easy. You can click on it every day and see if your property valuation seems to be going up or down.
Wow, you did a good job.
High five.
Oh my gosh, you get me to bake a cake for you this weekend.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, because that's exactly right. So I'm not going to go to the doctor's office and argue with them that, no, my home scale says I weigh this. I'm not going to argue that's their scale, and it's a matter of the fluctuation, right?
Yeah,
if they look at what I was last year and they're like, oh, okay, you're about holding steady or you've gone up or down, I'm going to know, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Even if the number isn't exactly right.
That's exactly it. Yep.
Wow, that's the best you've ever done.
Yes. Ever. So a realtor in this example would be someone, or an appraiser would be someone who, on a medical scale, you actually have a counterbalance that you zero out the scale. So the realtor or the appraiser goes in and actually zeroes out the scale to determine the actual value of the property.
Those are those old fandangle scales like we have downstairs. The old medical scales.
That's right.
Those are legit.
The ones that are legit.
I like
That's
those.
Right. That's right. Unless you're on Karate Kid and they break it, which I still don't get how that works. But
I don't know.
Okay, so with that in mind, we are picking a particular property, and we're going to run through 4 or 5 different websites and what their valuations are and see if there's any variance, okay?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of these automated valuations, see where the variances are, and dive into it.
Okay.
All right, so the property that we're looking at is a specific property. And I know this property, we've been inside of it, so we know the differences of the condition of the home, so we can actually give a good.
Well, and that's one key point right there.
Yes.
Redfin, Zillow, all the other ones we're going to go through, they haven't been in the homes.
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right. So this first one is from Redfin, and this home is valued at $797,000, $561.
We know how to say numbers.
That's right. It's valued. This is the valuation. So we don't know anything about this. We have no comparison. Is this good?
We just know the location and 4 bedroom, 4 bath.
Yep.
For not even 4 baths, but 2.5 baths. Trust us, we know lots of stuff.
We're smart. All right. So this is Redfin. We do know that because it's right there, and it's $797. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, and this one is actually our the website that we use for when our clients want just a quick home valuation. The reason we like this one is because it gives us three um, properties, our three valuations, so we have a range of it.
That's right.
And all of them give us a range underneath, like each individual website has a range, but you can take just a quick glance and then you can watch this each month if you subscribe to it. Watch each month and see which property values are doing.
It's just a little more transparent. You know, it doesn't present, this is exactly what your home's worth. It shows you based on these. And so it puts you in the right frame of mind.
That's right. That's right. And notice the previous one was $797. This one is $643, $740, $767. There's a huge variance. Okay. And these are all using, top-notch data. But let's get to the big ones. We got Realtor.com, $756,000. It's still almost $40,000 different than the original one.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to the Zestimate at $755.
Yeah, very close.
But which is right? And how do you know which is right? Okay, so that's the question, and you're not going to get that answer.
No, you're not. It's not. You don't take the mean. You don't take the average or anything like that. It's not like that at all. So let's get into what you really.
So this is a very, very basic example, but we pulled three properties. We actually pulled all properties that had settled in the last 6 months within a quarter mile of this property. Sometimes those radiuses can be bigger, they can be smaller, but they have to be similar houses.
And you'd have to have a licensed real estate agent to be able to get this data.
Yeah. And so, these are all 4 bedrooms. They're all 2.5 baths, or as Kelly likes to say, 4 baths.
I mean, it's better for your valuation, my friend.
That's right. No, 2 full baths, 1 half bath. I even said it wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're all very similar. They're close in square footage, within about 100 square foot in either direction. And you can see the pricing variations of what these closes were. Were $703,000 all the way up to $771,000. So what's the difference with these?
Okay, not only do we know that we have the age of it, right? But when you have access to this information like we do, you have the pictures that are posted for everyone to see, right? But we also have the history, like what happened. And there's a big, huge, fat story to tell in history. I was actually just talking to my sister about a property she's looking at in Philadelphia. It's like, hey, what's the deal? Why do you think the price dropped so much? Well, the listing history can tell so much. And in this case, it was on the market, it went under contract within 6 days, went back on the contract, lowered by about $100K. And then you look at the agent-to-agent notes, which the outside doesn't know. And then we look at some docs and we see, ooh, okay, so there are some wonky inspections that happened in between these times. So it's all that kind of stuff. It's a huge picture. And photographers for real estate are amazing. Like they are so talented and so worth it and beautiful to all real estate photographers. It's very different than walking inside sometimes.
That's right. That's right. It could be pet smells, or it could be mold, it could be things that you just don't see. And just the overall condition of the house. So for example, in researching of these properties, the 771, when you dive in and look at the information that Kelly's talking about, you look at the old pictures of the property before it settled, you'll see that this house was completely remodeled. The inside was torn out. It's an open floor plan. They've done all new flooring. The kitchen is completely new. The subject property that we've been talking about is not in that condition. It's an older home. It has not been updated for probably 20 or 30 years. So that valuation is going to vary. The 703 right here, same thing. It was updated, but it wasn't updated to the level of the 771. The automatic generating estimates, the Zestimates, the Redfins, and so on, they don't have the ability yet. AI will come in, but they don't have the ability to walk the property to know what's going on, to see. If a property's been on the market, they'll be able to pull pictures probably eventually and see what the updates were. But if a property has not been on the market, they don't know the condition of that property.
Right.
And a seller in this neighborhood would typically say, hey, my neighbor's house sold for 771. That's what my house is worth. And it's like, no, you have to look at condition.
And they'll say it's the same age and it's the same floor plan.
Same
and we have
square
the same
footage.
Acreage.
Yeah.
But it's not true. And also you have some that are so pretty. It's like it was completely renovated and the pictures are like spectacular and leather granite and blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, great. The property next door that is the same square footage, that is the same everything else, but it's not fancy. The pictures don't look great, but what did they do? They fixed the foundation because the neighborhood has foundation issues. The pretty one didn't. They replaced their roof. The pretty one didn't. They replaced all the wiring. It was built in the 60s, so all the wiring is redone. The pretty one didn't. So point. Where's your money?
Yeah.
Where's
really safer?
Yeah.
Pretty doesn't always mean value. So
yeah.
Okay. So in
Just
other
ask
words,
me. That's what he said when he married me.
You're so pretty.
Pretty doesn't always mean value, Phil. I'm gonna love you forever.
That's right. So there's always the human factor that needs to be involved. We did have one of our watchers that asked me, "Hey, why are you sending out these automated valuations? Doesn't that reduce the value of the realtor?" And the fact of the matter is, no, because it's like the scale that you got at the VRBO. You can use it for just general information, but if you want to know the actual value, you've got to get with your agent. You've got to have them come walk the property. It's got to be an agent that knows the market.
Yeah.
You can walk into a house and not know the market or not know homes and make a lot of mistakes just because it's pretty. They might think it's fantastic.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. And ask any FSBO, any for sale by owner person who said, "I'm just going to list mine with the number on the Zillow Zestimate and see how quickly it sold."
That's right.
Although a couple of years ago, it probably sold.
Yeah, probably for more. All right. Okay. So if you have any questions about this, or if you'd like a valuation of your property, number one, you can click on our website to get the automatic valuations. Number two, reach out to us if you want an actual valuation.
Yeah, if you really, really, really want to know, let us know. And that is the sound of ice.
That's the sound of
being gotten
14-year-olds. Okay. All right.
You might as well come over and say, "Hey, homeboy." Okay. Bye.
All right. We'll see y'all next week.